was trying to work her way back into our son's life, but he was refusing to see her. We had worked out a few things with her parents, and he was spending time with them until, against the counselor's direction, they tried to convince him to go see his mom. This made him angry, and he no longer wanted to see them. One of the weekends he was supposed to spend in detention fell on a weekend that I was out of town, and I was going to be unable to pick him up on Sunday, having been fed up with less than zero assistance. It was a really difficult couple of years, and not only did my ex do nothing, I was driving to the city once a week for his counseling, to pick up and drop off our daughter, and lots of other stressful and time-consuming things. My ex, on the other hand, had lots of free time, no kids, had to do zero traveling for pickups, etc. So I sent her an email saying that I needed her to arrange for our son to be picked up from detention, and I warned her that she should not be the one picking him up, and worst case scenario, she should sign him out of detention and have an Uber waiting to take him home. She had plenty of options she could have chosen. Her sister and my family are always willing to help, and she is still in contact on one level or another with all of them. Instead, she said she had no options and would have to pick him up. I contacted his counselor and asked her to call my ex and warn her of the ramifications if she tried to force her way back into his life and that it could set counseling back. She refused, and on the day of pickup, she was the one there waiting for him, pretending everything was great and that she had never done anything wrong. Not even so much as an apology for the vile things she had done, said, allowed to happen, or tried to happen. Once in the car, she refused to go anywhere, trying to convince him that he would be better off living with her parents, and she was ready to take him there if he agreed. They spent half an hour in the parking lot, and he just kept telling her no, I want to go home, to my dad's house. Eventually, she gave up and drove him home. The counselor, after finding this out, changed her tactics. Where she had spent months trying to counsel him on how to deal with his anger and forgive his mother, she was now counseling him on how people in our lives may do things that aren't in our best interest and we can live our lives without toxic people, no matter who they are in relation to us, and that it's not worth holding an anger about, and it's okay to forgive so he can move on and have a successful life without his mother in her. I.e., no more plan to reunify. My son is now almost 19. He hasn't seen his mother since the day she picked him up from detention 4 years ago. Last summer, my ex started again with the lies and manipulation, this time with our daughter. Things like when I was trying to get her into a summer camp, my ex decided to get our daughter all excited about a baking competition, then emailed me and said, this is where she wants to go, so you can either let me have her for that time, or you can arrange to pick her up and drop her off every day. The problem was that the baking thing was about 45 minutes away from my house or work, but it was near my ex's work, and it was only half days, so I would have to drive to drop her off at 8 a.m. I start work at 6 a.m., then go back to work, drive to pick her up at noon, drive across town to drop her off at another half-day camp, then drive and pick her up after I was off work. Or, of course, I could give up my time with my daughter. And, as I said, my ex had already told our daughter about the thing, and she was all excited to go. So, if I said no, then I would be the bad guy. So I agreed to let her go, and I would do all the driving, and I included in the response email that the actions she had taken were exactly duplicating what she had done with our son and that they went directly against several court orders. I warned her and said if the actions continued, she was risking losing her daughter the way she lost her son. I included the emails I had sent years prior that said that she was going to completely destroy her relationship with her children if she continued to lie and manipulate them and use them as pawns in this game she was playing. Look at what happened. She had done exactly that once already and was on the path to do it again. I never actually said I told you so, but the gist is the same.